everybody? How are we all doing tonight? Today, well, tonight works. It's 7:18. I am 3 minutes late. I am still trying to technically get ready. I've been moving very slowly since Tuesday morning because I went to the gym with a buddy of mine, and I can't feel my arms because I'm in fucking pain, and it hurts, and it friggin' sucks. What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? What's up, Hokies? Schick, the lovely Marianne, Miss Lily, Sean, always says the same thing. I really appreciate it. And good old ESG. I actually did skip leg day because that was today. And I skipped it because I actually ended up going to bed at like 1, and when I woke up at 5, it just was not going to happen. So I texted my friend and said, "Hey, I'll see you Monday," because he's not going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow, but I'm just going to go do like cardio tomorrow. Because my arms hurt. I was actually I was in the shower yesterday, reaching up to shower to wash my head, and I had to grab my arm and throw it up there to get my hand up to my head. That's how much it hurts right now. That's a little better. I've been taking some Advil, but it's, oh my God, it is painful. I did too much, I think. He's been going for a while, so he's at a higher level than I am, and I think I tried to get up there too quickly. Interesting. But yeah. So this has been a week, hasn't it? Not haven't really been able to do half of what I wanted to do this week. I wanted to wake up and make some videos for y'all. I wanted to have a stream Tuesday night, but it just did not happen. What's up, Clyde? How we doing, baby? Oh, the other thing is, so today was the last day of covering both offices. Oh my God. So well, when I don't give y'all a lot of reasons to do it, do you? Of course, he goes, not a lot of green names. Let's fix that. Clyde for 5. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I was supposed to have a drink here, but I don't. And I don't really like these green liquid deaths. Hey, look at that. Lily got one. Yay. If you got one, let's see those. Let's go with, so new memberships are going to be the gavel. The gavel are going to be new memberships. Okay, I actually really like it. Someone put the gavel in a chat real quick. I'm hoping I can highlight it. Can I? I can highlight that. Marianne's gifts show up. But will the gavel show up? Legally, wait on you. I think you're. Yep, you're the only member in the chat, so you're the only one that can do it. What? Oh, that sucks. Okay. And I'm not a member. Well, I wonder if the King's Court can do it. And let's find out. Okay. I can. Awesome. All right. I really like that. I think it looks really cool. And I'm hoping, it still just shows the name of the thing. But I really love how what I do is I took a gavel and I put a BAM thing underneath it. I think that's pretty cool. I liked it. It was cool. So this week we had a couple of really big things happen this week, obviously. Austin Metcalf, the Carmelo Anthony's trial for the murder of Austin Metcalf concluded this week. It was a rather short trial. I was a little surprised. It was really only 3 days. We know they had jury selection last week. I think that covered 3 days. Yeah, 4 days, I think. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think they finished jury selection on Thursday. They started the trial on Friday. And then, the defense rested on Tuesday, I think. And they had closing arguments on Wednesday. I do agree with a lot of people that it was a very short trial. I did not expect it to be that short. I thought it would be closer to like Rittenhouse's trial, which I believe went for like 2 to 3 weeks. But I do not agree. We're going to look at some of these accusations that Carmelo Anthony supporters are saying, and I mean, if I see some, we'll look at some of the stuff that some of the Metcalf supporters are saying. There's some stuff that Metcalf supporters are saying that I think is genuinely incorrect. One of the things I did think was hilarious. This, the world is kind of, or there are stupid people out there when you find. Let's see if I can find this. I'm pretty sure I liked it. That's something I should do because I end up doing this kind of thing a lot where I'm trying to find something. I should make like a do 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 that pops up when okay. I liked part of it. So I thought this was hilarious. Okay, guys. So I know people. She's kind of hot water with some people. I don't really give a shit about any of that quartering stuff. But Chrissy Mayer tweeted, "People need to understand that Carmelo Anthony and his family didn't have the resources to retain a legitimate and strong defense team." And of course, she got community noted. Carmelo Anthony's family raised over $612,000 via Gifts and Go crowdfunding campaign, which was primarily intended to fund his legal defense. And then, of course, we know that they ended up spending a bunch of it on a house and all sorts of. Though, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and if you know, but there was a report shortly after after all that stuff was announced that they had already been under contract and all that stuff but before that any of that money came in. Am I wrong about that? But I do love that. Obviously, she is community noted. There's all sorts of people yelling at her to tell her that she's stupid. Excuse me. Someone posted this. She, of course, replied, "Not even close to the goal." And this is hilarious because y'all know how many times 3-year Letterman has gotten me. I have been halfway through like 30 different angry responses to him before I go, "Oh, that's right. He's just trolling." Mug Reality member for 4 months says, "Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday." Y'all don't forget, we've got a marathon stream this weekend over on King's Advisors. But this, I laughed my ass off at this. And she did it a lot. This might be a little dangerous. Hang on. Oh my God, Carmelo! Oh my God, Alex Stein with. Oh shit!
I just want to say this. As a black man in a black city, I want to fight for Carmelo Anthony. He deserves to be free. We need to get Carmelo Anthony out of jail. Free Carmelo Anthony. All he did was stab one kid at a track meet.
You may begin.
Can you hear me? Councilman Parker, my name's Alex Stein, and I came here specifically at this meeting because the last meeting that I was at, I thought the lack of professionalism that you had when running a meeting, typically when people actually decide to show up in person, you would give them the ability to speak before you would somebody online. So I was at the last advisory council, and you're letting all these people speak online instead of just letting the people that actually were there in person speak first. And so I go to a lot of council meetings.
Do you have testimony regarding the bills?
Yeah, he does.
Of course, but I want to talk. I was just trying to talk to you about how you run these meetings.
1 minute and 20 seconds left.
No, I'm just saying you're terrible at your job, Councilman Parker.
Understood.
And listen, I think black kids should be able to shoplift. I don't know.
When this weekend the maid comes over on Saturday. My reality for two. Yeah, it's this weekend. We're probably gonna start about 9:30 a.m. and we're gonna run through the end of Le Mans at least, which is 10 a.m. on Sunday. That's what all this is I'm gonna be watching Le Mans right here and playing something right here. So it's gonna be fun. Hopefully my arms aren't sore by then.
Why we arrest black kids. I want to free Carmelo Anthony. I think Carmelo Anthony should not be in jail.
So
I mean, he did that in self-defense.
We're going to pivot.
No, it's about a youth. What I'm saying is Carmelo
It's about a
Anthony
youth.
is typical to what is happening to the youth of Washington, D.C. We need to free Carmelo Anthony. And we do. Councilman Parker, I'm literally trying to speak about the youth in D.C. Yes, because I think the kids in D.C., they should be able to stab people and they should be able to get away with it, Parker, because I'm sick and tired of holding these kids accountable. If you're black and your ancestors were slaves, you should have the right to do whatever you want now in the current 2026 timeline that we're in. So I'm sick and tired of the racism. Me, I'm a young black man myself. My grandfather owned a plantation, and he got his great-grandmother pregnant. And so I'm actually probably blacker than you, Mr. Parker. So I just want to say this. As a black man in a black city, I want to fight for Carmelo Anthony. He deserves to be free. We need to get Carmelo Anthony out of jail. Free Carmelo Anthony. All he did was stab one kid at a track meet that was trying to assault him, and he should be free.
Oh my God. Dude, that guy is hilarious. Y'all remember when he went on in the LA City Council and did the transgender thing? That was hilarious. I gotta be careful about some of the things I share on this whole thing because there's some big no-no words. Just a couple. What's up, Andy? How you doing, man? This guy's one of the reasons that I decided to start going back to the gym. This guy is 982, I think, and still goes. So, inspiration. Words that Beardo would read in a super chat. Has Beardo actually read some of those words? But yeah, so let's talk about the Carmelo Anthony shit. So I think I'm pretty sure I saved some of the wilder claims that people have made, but it always what a wild guy. It always kind of blows my mind when you have a case like this that at the end of the day is pretty open and shut. Like, it's pretty clear It's pretty clear what happened. You know, I think any of us that did sports in high school know the kind of thing that was going on. I thought it was a very interesting. One of the very first people, I think I spoke about this on Thursday. One of the first people to testify was the track coach to kind of talk about like the culture of the tent, what the tent means, why it's kind of like it's your team's area to relax. You know, I think he called it a safe space to just be with your friends, your teammates. He's absolutely right. You know, and I can't really think of a single time that I'd be sitting there and another person from a different team would come over and hang out in my tent. You know, I remember having some friends on another high school team and stopping by and like waving at them, but I didn't go to their tent. That's not my team. That's their team. But all of these claims that they were there to, or that Carmelo Anthony was being bullied, that they were like ganging up on him in their tent, all of that stuff, none of it never struck home for me. It always seemed contrived. It always seemed made up to just make what he did sound a little less bad. And the thing that I thought was more interesting is the entire time that you had people claiming this, we never saw any evidence of it. We never got to see any video footage of it. Now, obviously, we know why they didn't really want to release any footage. It's because it ends with the kid getting stabbed. No one wants to see that. But these people are just, they're delusional. I mean, y'all have seen some of those videos of the people outside. I showed one the other day of, and you know, the thing that sticks is I gotta listen to this to make sure she doesn't sit here and yell the N-word. So give me 1 second.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Just like Carmelo was doing. I'm glad you just said that. That's what Carmelo was doing. Protecting his motherfucking self.
Look at this. Look at this. There's no way you heard that. Shh. Can you really? Y'all could hear that? Oh my God. Okay. Well, you're going to hear it again. This one.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Just like Carmelo was doing. I'm glad you just said that. That's what Carmelo was doing. Protecting his motherfucking self.
I think it's time to send the asteroid. If we have an XCast tomorrow, that's my send the asteroid. 100%. Oh, I can't play that. Nope, I can't play that one. Oh, here, let's see this one.
What do you want us to do?
Hang on.
What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this right now.
All right, let's watch this one, because this one includes one of my favorite lies as well. All right, let's listen to this, and then in about 15 seconds, you're going to hear him say something. Okay.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this right now.
Yeah. Trayvon Martin was beating the shit out of George Zimmerman. What's that attorney's name? Andrew Brucka? Is that his name? Andrew Braca. He shared photos of George Zimmerman because don't forget, Zimmerman was arrested that night. He was arrested and booked. So there are photos of exactly what he looked like after the attack. This is what George Zimmerman looked like that night. You cannot tell me that is a peaceful pushing. That's not walking away. This we've had lie after lie after lie told. Now, have police done bad stuff? Sure. Anyone that tells you they haven't is a liar. You know they have. I don't even need specific cases because the law of averages, because math tells me that police have done bad things. Okay. I don't even need the exact case because I know, because math is math. But they take all of these examples. There was one person, and I actually think it's what let's see. Damn, Braca replied to it once. Let me see if I can find it. But there was someone that was mentioning like all the kind of famous deaths. You know, they talked about Michael Brown, who they was like, Michael Brown was barely 18. Trayvon Martin was 16. Carmelo Anthony, 17. All this. They just want to kill our kids. It's like, no one wants to kill anybody. Well, not no one. We know who wants to kill people. But it gets so annoying when you sit there and someone talks about Michael Brown. Michael Brown was just 18. He wasn't doing that. He robbed a store. He robbed a store and then threatened to shoot a cop. What do you think was going to happen? Trayvon Martin was beating the shit out of George Zimmerman. What did he think was going to happen? Carmelo Anthony stabbed a guy in the fucking chest. What do you think was going to happen? You thought we were just going to say, oh, it's okay. Oh, and then that was another really fucking annoying thing. Someone mentioned this trial has to be redone. 35 years for your first crime? Yeah. If your first crime is killing somebody, you're going to get a lot of time. We don't sit there and go, oh, no matter what, 5 years for your first. Oh, you killed someone first? Fine, 5 years. We don't do that. We have minimums and maximums in this country. And the penalty for murder in the state of Texas is somewhere between 5 and 99 years, unless it's capital murder. He got 35 years. I think it's a little light. I hope they do give him another trial so that he gets even more time. My favorite part of the Zimmerman trial was when the prosecution snuck a fake witness on the stand and it backfired on them. I don't remember that at all. Story time, please, horror host. Please. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a chance to be paroled in 17 years. It blows my mind. Why is the Fourth Amendment trending? Oh, because FISA didn't get. That's right. So FISA, which is the foreign, I forget what it's called. I don't know. It's foreign something. It's supposed to be. It's part of the Patriot Act. It's supposed to be so that we can basically spy on foreigners. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. But we know just from Donald Trump alone that that's not how it's used. It's used to spy on American citizens and do evil government work that should not be done under our laws. And it has not been re-upped, which right now is great. They put a fat black girl in the stand saying she was Martin's girlfriend who was on the phone with him at the time. She wasn't? Holy shit. Let me see if I can find this. We're going to watch this. Trayvon Martin hearing girlfriend. That's why you use a VPN inside the United States. Wait, is it this one? Is it this chick, her? Is this not that actress? Gabby Sidibe. Whoa! Market reality for 50 says a friend of mine outside a courtroom had some mother going off on him because he couldn't get her sent out of jail. He later told me that the defendant broke into the wrong apartment and beat up the wrong victim pretty badly. Yeah, of course he's not getting out of fucking jail. Don't you love stupid people? Market reality, thank you so much for the 50, man. So, guys, does this chick not look like this chick? Am I just being racist? Based on the book by Sapphire. All right, let's listen to this. Dude, I got this guy. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a me story time. These last 2 weeks have been insane. So the senior partner here in town is out. So I've been covering both offices, and I've been doing a whole lot of stuff. And every single one of his files this week blew up. Whether the other side got angry about something. I had one, Mark, you'll love this. This lady was trying to sell her house yesterday. She came to sign the papers yesterday. Buyer is signing sometime next week, so we got time to fix everything. But buyer attorney calls us and is like, "Hey, she's got this judgment." We're like, "Okay, I mean, y'all need to figure it out. What do you want us to do?" Because we have to deliver good title, so that judgment hurts title. And they're just like, "Well, it needs to be satisfied." And you're like, "Yeah, no, I agree with you. We're trying to work on it." I was honestly kind of hoping they would just put an exception in title insurance and let us do it, but it's too big of a judgment. So she's sitting there the whole time like, "Oh, do we need to pay that?" "Yeah, you need to pay it." Buyer. People are stupid. Okay, let's listen to this fake girlfriend of Trayvon Martin, who I completely forgot about this. Oh, I muted it.
And then he said, "Why are you following me for?" And then I heard a hard breath, man.
I don't really want to hear why. I want to hear like her get caught.
Yeah. Like,
second. You heard a grass.
then the second.
Were you able to?
Okay, so we're just getting the lie right now. Let's see if I can find this. Trayvon girlfriend caught lying. Is my VPN on? Yes. Okay, there we go. Cross-examination. That's what I want to find. Dude, that's cold. Hey, it's Isak. What's up, Isak? Let's see. I can't find it. That's too bad. It does look like she went on a ha. It's pronounced "you suck." Got it. Understood. Based off of YouTube, though, it does look like she went on a tour after the fact. But yeah, so all of this Carmelo Anthony stuff is just absolute fucking bullshit. People are lying over and over. They keep making up stories. They keep fabricating evidence. They say that there's evidence out there that wasn't shown. They talk about how the jury was all white. The jury wasn't all white. There were a bunch of white people on it, but there were Indians, there were Hispanics, there were some Mexicans on it. I mean, just because you don't have a bunch of people from Angola on your witness doesn't mean that you've got a appealable case. And there's already a track for that. If a defense attorney, or technically even if a prosecution attorney, believe that one side is removing jurors based solely on their race, there's already an appeal to be made. It's called a Batson. Or Batson. Yeah, Batson claim. They're right there, Sean. Yep, 100%. Where you basically tell the judge, hey, I think they're removing these people just because they're black or just because they're white. They didn't do that. Now, I will say, if I was defending Carmelo Anthony, I would absolutely appeal based on, well, if I was defending him now, but I would appeal based on incompetent representation. This attorney doesn't really seem like he did a very good job. I will say one of the things that I thought was really interesting about this, what was it? There are a lot of people. There were a lot of people immediately following, talking about how he did not, how he wasn't allowed to testify. It was like, why would you not testify? You need to get up there and because he can't. So he can't for there are logical reasons why he can't. Clearly, there's something we're not aware of about Carmelo Anthony. Okay. Because he should have gone up there and basically just cried his eyes out. He should have gone up there and said, hey, I'm sorry. Look, I didn't mean to do it. This is terrible. I think about this every day. I cry myself to sleep. This is terrible. I wish I had never done it. I was a heat of the moment, all that kind of stuff. Even if he's lying. Now, if an attorney believes that their client's going to lie, you can't put him up there. If the client insists, then what you do is you have them, what's it called? You have them testify in the narrative. And what that means is you basically, the attorney goes to the judge. He brings counsel up and he goes, I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to have my client testify in the narrative. And that is, it's not supposed to be, but it is absolutely. And Mark will confer with this. It is your way of basically saying, hey, I believe my client to be lying, but my client is telling me I have to let him testify. So you say, well, you're just going to tell your story. I'm not going to cross-examine you. You're just going to, or I'm not going to examine you. You're just going to tell your story. And then you basically say, okay, I'm done. And you let the other guy cross-examine. Now, anything bad, and I'm going to kind of mirror this with the Ched case. Anything bad that Carmelo Anthony did, whether it was, let's say it was March, let's say he broke into a building in March. Okay. That doesn't come in. The prosecution does not get to sit there and say, Jerry, I'm going to come here. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to tell you all the bad stuff that Carmelo Anthony did. Look at this. This guy has beaten up 3 different people. He's broken into 4 houses because it's prejudice. It has nothing to do with the case. But the second Carmelo Anthony takes the stand, he talks about how he's so sorry. He's never done anything like that again, or he's never done anything like that. He doesn't know what happened. The prosecution gets up there and says, hey, remember how you said you've never done anything like that? Ugh. Do you remember beating up 3 different people? Now, I've got no evidence that Carmelo Anthony did that. But it is the only logical reason that I can think of to not have Carmelo Anthony testify. The defense clearly knew that there was something in Carmelo Anthony's past that the prosecution would use to go after him. There's no other reason. At least that I can think of. Mark has done a whole lot more litigation than I have, so maybe he can think of another reason, but I can't think of any other reason you would not have your client testify in a murder case unless something else would come out. Because you can tailor where the prosecution can go. Because the prosecution can the way examination works is it's kind of like this, okay? It's kind of a funnel. So if it's your witness, you've got all this room. If you're cross-examining, you have to be a little bit more narrowly tailored. Let's say I'm the defense attorney here, and I've got Carmelo Anthony on the stand, and I'm basically just asking him questions about that specific day. Let's say I'm just asking him a question about why were you at the track meet? Oh, you were on one of the other teams. Okay. Were you invited over to the tent? Oh, okay, you were. Cool. Why did you have a knife? Oh, it's a cleat. Oh, it's for your cleats. Okay. Again, I don't remember I don't think that was the knife, but that's what, his team was claiming. Then there's the, were you attacked? Oh, you were attacked. That's why you fell. So this was like self-defense. Okay. So you start doing all of that. Now, prosecution normally cannot just come in and say, okay. So tell me about when you stabbed or let's not even make it stabbed. Tell me about when you broke into the house 4 weeks ago. Okay. Because it's not connected to anything that Carmelo Anthony has been talking about. Now, if Carmelo Anthony says, I am a good person, I never meant for any of this to happen, I am very sorry, then, because he has put his character into question, then the prosecution can get up there and say, you said you're a good person. Tell me about these 3 attacks you participated in. Tell me about this home you broke into. They can do it then, but not until you've probably heard this on TV before, not until Carmelo opens the door to that kind of topic. So clearly, there was no way to tailor his testimony to prevent him from opening the door to anything, which to me seems to suggest that there was something in the immediate time frame of that attack that if he had testified to, the prosecution would have been able to just blow the door open. Mark, what do you think? Is that correct? I really love when Mark's here because I use Mark to confirm everything I say, basically. Just apparently he's claiming I'm testifying. I'm not counsel. Mark says, I don't want my client testifying because they were stupid enough to commit X. Examining the defendant is going to work just like examining any other witness. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yes, you're pretty close. I'll never live that down. I still can't believe I did that. I was talking to someone about that the next day, and I felt so fucking embarrassed. I'm still pissed off. I'm tempted to remove the stream. That's how annoyed I am about it. So, no, dude, you gotta keep me humble. Y'all know me. My head's already really big. If you don't keep me humble, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I really enjoy the work that Valiant Renegade is doing on Twitter because I don't see a lot of the dryer's done. It's a long beep or buzz. I don't see a lot of the really stupid stuff that gets on Twitter, and Valiant Renegade does. And so because I follow Valiant Renegade, I get to see stuff like this. Okay, we're not even going to listen to her. Okay, there's no point in listening to her. Once y'all see her, you'll understand why we're not going to listen to her. Okay, Dr. Candace Matthews just dropped some receipts on Greg Lewis, the Collin County District Attorney who oversaw the prosecution of Carmelo Anthony. A federal lawsuit accused him of systemic sexual harassment and inappropriate touching with subordinates. A $1.75 million settlement was finalized to completely resolve the case, paid by Collin County's private insurance policy. Okay, let's just assume that's all completely true. Okay? I mean, it's probably not. It could be. I don't mean to make light of it, but what the fuck does that have to do with prosecution of a murder? Now we're just trying to disparage everyone on that side to force some sort of retrial. That's all they're doing now. If he really did that, is it terrible? Absolutely. If he sexually assaulted someone, throw him in prison. But if he says subordinates, plural, $1.75 million settlement for multiple claims? I don't think so. That sounds like Bumpkiss to me. What else we got? Oh, y'all saw this guy got arrested, right? This dude, he got arrested. I don't even remember what he got arrested for, but he's harassing this white guy. I just don't get it, guys. 30 years ago, I would argue 30 years ago was probably some of the best times to be an American. Whether you were white, black, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, man, female, gay, straight, I think it was probably the best time. Because I genuinely don't think we gave a shit. I remember when I was 9 years old, I think, I'm sitting there on my couch one day. I must have been watching the news. I don't know why else I would have heard about this, but I'm sitting there watching something. Okay, I cannot believe I would be watching the news at 9 years old. So it's probably like one of those watch Fox at 5 o'clock news and a quick little story. But I remember seeing a story about this guy that was walking down the street in California. Don't know where. He was just walking down the street in California, and he was killed because he was wearing the wrong color. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he was wearing white, and that was the wrong color in that neighborhood. And I have really not wanted to visit California ever since. Just haven't wanted to do it. And the thing that always kind of surprised me was, especially growing up. I'm 31. I've grown up with identity politics, basically, and I don't fucking understand why. If you're gay, you have to vote this way. If you're black, you have to vote this way. If you're white, you vote this way. If you're a man, you vote like this. If you're a woman, you vote like this. If you're college educated, you vote like this. If you're not, you vote like this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why do we continue to do this shit? Vote for the parties, whether it's right to have two parties, whether we should have three, whether we should have 9, like Britain. It makes no fucking sense. All of this is complete bullshit. It is extremely clear over the last decade that the only party that cares about, and some of y'all are going to yell at me, give me a second to finish my thought first. It is pretty clear over the last decade, the only party that cares about America as a place to be is the Republican Party. Okay, the Democratic Party does not care about it. Now, does the Republican Party care about it like they should? Absolutely not. Okay. I still agree with that statement Vivek Ramaswamy made the other week, and the statement that Trump kind of made as well, that being American is not just being born in America. That there's an idea, an inherent value to being an American. And it's more than just where you were born. It's also more than just how you think. It's a combination of the two. Okay. One of the coolest things about the World Cup has been seeing these people who have come over from Britain and different places in the UK and different places in Europe. There's that one guy in Germany. I don't even know what his name is on Twitter, but they've just been talking about how awesome what they've seen over here is. And there's this Scottish guy, Freddie. Yes, the Freddie guy. There's a Scottish guy as well, talking about how he basically just wants to stay in Texas and be Texan. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love seeing people truly understand the beauty and the majesty of this country. Doesn't make them an American. It doesn't. They're not American. I've said it so many times. It's more than just where you're born. It's more than just how you think. It's a combination of the two. We are a different race of people. We truly are. That's why we needed a different government. I think I repeat myself again. I've said it multiple times. Monarchy, it was so dumb for Europe to give up on monarchy. Monarchy is what built Europe. They should have kept it. The West did not need monarchy. The West had a new race of people. So we needed a new government. It's something Ben Franklin said. It's a beautiful quote from Ben Franklin. I wish I remembered the whole thing. But to sit there and act like I lost it. Where was I going? I just started rambling there. I forgot where I was going. I don't know how Ryan does that. Ryan just spits it out, and he never has to think about it. It blows my mind. It's incredible to watch. Shit. I don't remember. At the end of the day, vote Republican, because the Republican Party will eventually fix itself. The Democratic Party's got no chance. We'll sit here and complain about Lindsey Graham. We'll sit here and complain about Colin and all those people. But Lindsey Graham is really the last one left. And honestly, I'll be shocked. I know. Look, I actually, and this is, y'all are probably gonna get upset at me. I did not vote for my senator in the primary. I voted for my other ones. I did not vote for my senator because I was not going to vote for Mark Lynch. I was not going to vote for Lindsey Graham. Mark Lynch. One of the things that really is really annoying me about politics right now is we're seeing a lot of wannabe Donald Trumps. We're seeing a lot of rich people pop up and start running for office. The problem is, you know why Donald Trump, one of the reasons Donald Trump won in 2016, aside from genuinely having good ideas, we all fucking knew who Donald Trump was. We all watched him Thursday night on The Apprentice. Everybody watched that fucking show. We knew who. We've all watched Donald Trump tell Kevin that the lobby's right down there. We've all watched it. We know who he is. Nobody in Columbia, no one in South Carolina knew who the fuck Mark Lynch was. He's a billionaire. We had no idea who he was. You really think you're going to win the senator nomination for the Republican Party if I don't know who the fuck you are? That shit's bugging the hell out of me. I guarantee you, Vivek Ramaswamy does not win the Ohio primary if he suddenly pops out of the woodwork 3 months before the election. Absolutely not. 100%. Everyone thinks because Trump did it, they can too. Donald J. Trump was the Prince of New York City. Donald Trump was... What was that? Sorry, I just heard something. I don't know. Donald Trump was the prince of the fucking country. Like, but you knew what show I was talking. I didn't even say The Apprentice, and you knew what show I was talking about. Money, 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 baby. Money. Nick won season 2. I remember that because Donald Trump put him and the girl that he started like dating during the show on a plane, and he said, "Man, I sure hope they don't use my bedroom. That's reserved for me and Melania." I remember that. I was like 12 years old watching that. I remember that. So let's talk about South Carolina. So Jay brought it up in Welcome to the Rebellion yesterday. So South Carolina had our primaries on Tuesday. Real quick, let me hit this. Market Reality 5 says Trump and Reagan were both celebrities, populists, and would say whatever they wanted to say. They were both friends with Michael Jackson. Okay. I mean, the vast majority of statements made by Reagan were pretty similar throughout his entire political career, at least that I'm aware of. So South Carolina primaries. We have an open primary, which means everyone can vote however they feel like voting. This is the big one right here on the Republican runoff for governor. Trump has endorsed Pamela Abbott. Alan Wilson has been our AG for 12 years and has done quite a good job. I've talked about this before. I think he's done a fantastic job as AG. Nancy Mace dropped out and endorsed Alan Wilson. I don't know if Ram Reedy, who is another Indian billionaire, who popped out of nowhere and thought he was going to win with this kind of like Trump-esque tactic that just did not work. And then Ralph Norman, obviously, Ralph Norman was a member of the House of Representatives here in South Carolina, and then was picked by Nikki Haley to replace Oh, I don't remember. Someone. Trump appointed one of our reps as something, and then Nikki Haley. No, because that's special elections. Shit, I don't remember. He ended up winning special election, became the representative for the 6th district, and has been that since for the last 10 years. So he spent 10 years in the state house, then 10 years in the in DC. Then he wanted to come home and be our governor. He got 3rd place. I actually thought he'd be a pretty good governor. But Alan Wilson, my guy. Now, runoffs tend to favor the 2nd place guy. I have no doubt in my mind that Alan Wilson is going to win this runoff, because as much as South Carolinians will do, for the most part, what Donald Trump says, because we just will, because we believe that he's going to be, he will end up being a pretty good president. We are not going to allow Ohioan to be our governor. And Pamela Evatt moved to South Carolina from Ohio in 2008. And sorry, no. I don't need more carpetbaggers down here. Don't need it. You Yankees that want to live in those godless, forsaken cities up there, don't you dare come down here and ruin our states. There's already enough of them. This one's also a very interesting race. So David Pascal did lose, which is good. This was the guy that was actually an undercover Democrat. He, however, has thrown his full support behind David Stumbo. Stumbo is who I actually voted for, but that Pasco vote for him or siding with him makes me a little hesitant. Stumbo does have history in the AG's office. He's worked in the AG's office several times. Well, if the Democrats decided to bring their ballot printers, buddy, if they didn't do it 6 years ago when they spent, how much did Jamie Johnson spend? Not Jamie Johnson. Is it Jamie Johnson? No. Who ran against Graham in 2018? No, 2020. Jamie Harrison. Let's see if no, hang on, Mark. Here we go. Campaign spending. They spent $106 million in 2020 on the Jamie Harrison campaign. It is the most expensive senatorial campaign in the history of American politics. At least it was until 2020. I don't know if it still is. I'm asking some of these idiots to spend an assload of money. If they didn't bring out their illegal polling, or sorry, their illegal votes in 2020, they're not doing it here this year. They got a lot more important places to do that shit than here in South Carolina. We also have voter ID. Thanks to Alan Wilson. The other one I thought was interesting, and I don't know if NBC is going to show it to me. I'll probably have to go to SC Votes, I think is what it's called. It is. I'm glad that worked out because I forgot that I still had, I was still sharing my screen. 2026. Yeah, let's go statewide primaries. But again, all of our shit was counted in about a day. I think they're still, so Dim and Rep 100%. So yeah, I think everyone's pretty much 100%. I think there's a couple that are like 99. It is. It is an official legal term, ass load. But the race that I'm really kind of interested to see is Commissioner of Agriculture. So Trump has backed Cody Simpson. And the only literally, so I spent 2 weeks ago, I spent the week up in where's Greenville? In Greenville County. And that is the only place I saw signs for Danny Ford. I got no idea who Danny Ford is. I don't even know who Cody Simpson is. But Cody Simpson's been going around actually talking to people, helping people deal with things. I haven't seen Danny Ford do shit. So who do you think I voted for? Of course, Fred West. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, Cody Simpson. So I want to talk more, but oh damn, 5 states have now pulled out of the Great American State Fair: Connecticut, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Oregon. That's upsetting. Anyone else kind of annoyed that the whole 250 stuff is not working quite as well as I think we thought it would? This should have been a lot cooler. And I'm disappointed. But as much as I want to talk more, and this has been a very good stream. I think it's been one of my better ones. I'm really enjoying it. I need to use the restroom. And it's been an hour, so I feel like I can go ahead in the stream. Because unlike my gaming streams, I'm not just gonna turn the camera off and go to the restroom. I think that'd be rude for a live stream where it's just me. At least on gaming ones, you can listen to the music. Yeah. But I think that's pretty much all I was going to talk about anyway. We do have another report that the Iran shit is over and a new deal is going to be signed. I am starting to get to the point where I'm kind of bored of it. I tell you what's really kind of funny, guys. I think the financial sector is bored of it as well, because we just started attacking them yesterday, and West Texas oil didn't even jump almost at all, and it jumped up and down during the first stuff. So I don't even think the market gives a shit anymore. There's a great are we talking about like the Carlos Brown stuff? Send me the video, and I'll put a video about it. But yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I wish I was more invested in this bricks and minifigs thing, because that really does seem right up my alley, but I just don't really care that much, which is probably a little sad. All right. Y'all have a great night. Where are we going to send everyone to? Who's live? Craigslist is live. Let's send y'all over to Critical Cast. Leave. Legally speaking. Customization. Redirect. Okay, guys. Y'all have a great night. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment.